Across the world, at the easternmost end of Indonesia, lies the land of Papua, vast and little known. Papua is a land of extremes, from snow-capped peaks to dense steaming jungle. It is home to a people called the Kamoro. In the mid-1920s, the Kamoro came under the administration of the Roman Catholic Church and Dutch government. For more than 50 years, some of their traditions were discouraged, resulting in parts of their culture being lost or going underground. But today, that has changed. Once again, the Kamoro can freely celebrate. And what better symbol around which to gather than this huge totem-like carving of their ancestors, the Biro. Because the Biro will house the spirits of the deceased, every step of its creation is considered sacred. All the while, it is kept in a secluded part of the village, away from prying eyes. No woman or child may even come near. Every step of the carving is directed by Pak Martinus. Although any man from the village may help, the role of the leader is reserved for the Maramuwe.
Itu tergantung, Pak. Tergantung dari yang pengukir saja. Tidak lain. Yang tidak bersangkutan tidak masuk untuk ukir. Hanya yang punya kebiasaan yang biasa ukir, itu yang masuk di ukir itu.
Pak Romanus takes a welcome break. Store-bought tobacco rolled up in a juicy leaf. Only 2 days ago, he was deep in the mangroves helping to fell the tree. Only men with hereditary rights can cut the tree. In fact, it is an obligation that they are expected to carry out. The tree is consecrated by the Kepala Suku, or head of traditions, by sprinkling kapur or lime on and around it. Every village has a specific tree that is used solely for the Biro. For the village of Pigapu, it is a species of wild nutmeg, the Myristica sulcata. Once felled, it is then dragged through the jungle and hauled onto a waiting canoe. This process has not changed since the time of their ancestors. The men have to be careful to ensure that the buttress root isn't damaged, as it will form the winged upper part of the Biro. With the tree secure and suitably decorated, it's back upriver to the village. The traditions attached to the creation of a Biro are very strong, and the villagers take each one seriously.
Kepala suku akan mengumpulkan yang punya keturunan untuk cari dan tebang. Selesai musyawarah, malam itu harus buat tifa dulu. Tifa, terus esok paginya keluar cari.
Deciding on the design of the Biro is only done when the tree is completely debarked. With the key designs in place, the connecting lines are filled in.
Kalau ini yang hitam dari apa?
Dari ini baterai.
Baterai.
Iya, baterai.
Campur dengan apa? Baterai saja atau ada campur?
Baterai saja.
Tidak ada kayu.
Tidak ada kayu.
Kalau
kayu.
Baterai ABC atau baterai? ABC.
Iya.
The ABC battery is the most common brand of portable power in Indonesia. In the hands of the Kamoro, it offers another use. Traditionally, charcoal would have been used, but the Kamoro find the carbon from used batteries an excellent alternative. Each battery yielding plenty of black paste that stays on longer than charcoal. But still, the old method is kept if a fire has been made.
Kalau Bapak pegang tadi,
Itu kayu.
kayu saja.
Ya, kayu saja.
Kayu macam-macam.
Macam-macam.
Tidak penting kayu
Tidak
jenis
penting,
apa.
yang penting jenis kayu itu semua. Arang.
Arang. Dari kayu arang. Oke.
The design complete, the men ready themselves for the next stage, which requires great care. With light taps, the wood is prepared, lessening the chances of error when the designs are etched out. Only experience guides the carver in interpreting the markings. Deep concentration envelops the group, each man focusing on the task in front of him. Slowly, a discernible pattern and form emerges. Tools other than the axe are now used to form the base designs. The Biro plays a central role in the initiation ceremony of young boys called the Karapao. Recently deceased important men are honored, and the spirits called back to take part in the occasion. It is in the Biro that these spirits reside during the festivities. Typically, the deceased are represented by 1 to 3 human figures on the trunk, one atop the other, with the most important one in the highest position. The Biro features a distinct winged projection called the Wiro, which is actually the buttress root of the tree. Slowly, the trunk is hollowed out to form the arms, legs, and backs of the figures. In the end, the center of the trunk will be completely hollowed out to facilitate the spirit's entry. At the other end of the village, Pak Alor is preparing lime from a bivalve to be used at the next stage of carving. Aside from being a favorite Kamoro delicacy, these mollusks called omopoko are valued for another reason.
Dia tinggal putih saja, baru orang itu ambil bakar dia. Tumbuk dia itu jadi putih, putih sekali.
Dari omopoko paling putih.
Iya, paling putih, Pak.
It will take an hour for the shells to burn, and Anis, Pakalo's grandson, has volunteered to keep watch. A unique feature of Kamoro carvings is a stylistic approach. The graceful simplicity of the lines and balanced proportions reveal the Komoro's artistic view of life. Except for the tools used, everything else follows the ways of the ancestors. The Kamoro only have crude carpenter tools to carve with, but they are treasured nonetheless. The width of the blades hinders fine work, but the carvers always manage to improvise. Like this mallet hewn from a spare piece of wood. Though ill-equipped, the Kamoro can be ranked equal in skill and artistry to their more famous neighbours, the Asmat. Repairs happen on the spot. Just as this wood-shaving tool was improvised, Pak Romanus will fix it with whatever is at hand. While the rest are busy finishing the figures, Pak Martinus spends some quiet moments sketching a design for the Wiro. Typically, it will contain at least one of the animals found in Kamoro legends: the hornbill, the monitor lizard, and the snake. The front half of the Biro is finished, and the carvers turn their attention to its end and back. When the shells have turned completely black, it's time for Pakalo to resume work. the cooled shells quickly disintegrate, but have to be crushed and pounded into a fine powder. When mixed with water, a perfectly white paint is produced. The lime paint is applied all over the completed biro in preparation for the next phase of carving.
Kalau tidak pakai kapur, tidak baik. Harus pakai kapur, baru bisa ukir. Baru ukiran itu bisa terang, bisa lihat begini dari jauh. Wih, bagus dia punya ukiran.
Pak Martinus is now left alone to carve the finer details. According to tradition, no one except the master carver has the right to complete the outline. Delicate yet strong patterns emerge from an ordinary chisel. No guides are drawn, and every tap of the tool is a product of imagination. Stylized geometrics figure strongly in Kamoro carvings. So only they know that this is a stingray. To the Kamoro, the intricate designs of a biro read like a poetic rendition of the cosmos that surrounds them. For 2 days, Pak Martinus will work the whole biro, covering it from top to bottom, front and back, with an array of symbols. While the basic form is strictly traditional, the carver is allowed to improvise on the finer details. From birds of the air, animals in the jungle, and creatures of the sea to abstract concepts of life, all find expression in the hands of a carver. There are stories to be told, children to teach, and animals to honor. And there is no more eloquent way to do so than in the creation of a biro. It is the night before the karapau. In just a few hours, the biro will finally be revealed to the village. This is the last phase of creation, when the carvers gather to put the final touches to their many hard days of work. Once again, spontaneity flows with each dab and stroke. Like their forefathers, the carvers of today find a blade of grass a perfect artist's tool. Sadly, the modern Kamoro find the strong colors of store-bought paints too attractive to ignore. Hopefully, this attraction will soon pass in favor of traditional sources like sweet potato leaves, Vidalia leaves, mangrove bark, roots, and the black moa fruit. Wildly tossing, the biro is alive with spirits, signaling their presence, and the villagers are swept along, excited by the promise of a successful karapau. This karapau promises to be one spoken of for generations to come. For one, for all, for every Kamoro, the essence of the biro and all that it stands for will live on in the heart of Kamoro culture.